Bring your up, Jay. He's our.
Hello, everyone, and greetings. Welcome back to GameSpot. I am here with the creative director of Nazi Zombies, Cameron Dayton. How you doing, my friend?
Doing really well, actually.
Welcome to GameSpot, and obviously we are here with Richie Bracamonte, our Call of Duty expert. We got Jay. He's somewhere around here, somewhere inside the studio. We don't know. He's going to be helping out too. But today we are taking a look at the Tortured Path, and we're going to be diving into Chapter 1, and then what do you think? Are we going to make it to Chapter 2, Chapter 3?
That depends entirely on the skill of our pro players.
See,
pressure's
pro
on.
player.
Pressure's
Jay
on.
over there off camera.
Well, and this is admittedly one of the more challenging chapters in the out of the series of the game, and because we feel like if you've been along for the ride this long,
right.
You've got the skills it takes to get through that. So,
and this is a little different than what we're used to in Nazi Zombies so far.
Oh yeah, it's significantly different. We've actually at this point in the game, we feel like we've proven our ability and the player's ability to get through the more traditional zombies map. And so this one we have really gone innovative on how the game is played, on how you progress through the game, on the way that we hid the Easter eggs, and even some of the reward system that this here has been revamped. So.
All right, man, you ready?
Ready.
Are you sure you're ready?
I'm ready.
All right,
Let's jump in.
Let's do this. I think we have a little bit of an opening cinematic, so I think we're gonna let that play whenever you guys are ready up.
All right.
Ready up.
Let's see. Everyone's ready. Richie, are you gonna go with self-revives, or are you gonna leave it as is?
I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'm just ready.
It's probably good.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Here we've got our famous Bat agent and Bat elite, the General Hank Rideau, who's the head of the bureau, and so these are the canonical characters that you would be experiencing this map with, as well as two of our other characters. One of the fun things about this map is we've introduced the characters that have been sort of the secret unlocks in the past.
Yep.
And everybody's wondering, oh, what are these, just different skins? Is it just kind of vanity stuff? And every single character that's been unlocked plays an important part in the story. And so now they've got dialogue, they've got lines, and are an important part of what's happening.
Now, is this the cinematic we're seeing? All right, let's go ahead and watch this. We'll raise the gameplay for you guys.
Composed entirely of the dead is torn across the face of Europe. It has fallen on us, the newly formed Bureau of Archaic Technologies, to be the tip of the spear in this fight. We are woefully outnumbered. We cannot match this enemy blow for blow. But with the help of our new allies, we will strike where they are most vulnerable. We will be smart. We will be fast. We will be lethal. But we must do more than simply kill our enemies. We must utterly destroy them.
Baby.
Here we are.
All right,
Welcome to Spain.
we're back. I've said it, I think, every Call of Duty stream we've ever had. These cinematics look incredible.
Yep.
They look amazing. So props to your team. They just look so hyper realistic. It's freaky.
Oh yeah, we have got an incredible cinematics team. It's a source that has done everything we've got. A group called Digit, and it is they do an incredible job of both capturing the facial expressions of our actors and our characters, but also just making the zombies look really damn creepy and rotten. So.
Very
All right,
polished.
we're starting out hot too.
Yeah, they just jumped right in.
This is not your typical like wave one.
Yeah, one of the important things one of the challenges we wanted with this DLC, we wanted to switch it up so that the traditional zombie map has you've got to get in and you really got to grind through a dozen waves before things really ramp up, you know, and you got to build up and you've got to get the right weapons and we're like, what if we made a version of this game where you could hop in and in 5-10 minutes have a completely enjoyable, exciting, adrenaline-packed experience, and so we've got these more kind of compact maps with the waves that the difficulty level ramps up pretty steeply right out the gate.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
We've got, instead of the broad spread of gun boxes with 1,000,001 different guns in each unique box. We took the idea of the mystery box, which is kind of a staple in the zombie mode, and we said, well, why don't we take that technology and compact it down towards the different gun types?
Right.
So now instead of 50 gun boxes throughout the area, you've got your pistol box, you've got your SMG, you've got your shotgun, you've got your sniper, but it also adds an element of randomness where you don't know when you go to the pistol box which pistol you're going to get. Right. And it might be your favorite tried and true. It might be something that's going to force you into a little bit of a different play style. So that's like element one of how we really shake up every game you go through. There's going to be another one you're going to see. And the next wave around, I'll save that one to chat when when that comes up.
Now we've kind of gotten used to there's this kind of like raid and step system in the previous. Right now, should these two be searching for clues in order to move on to step 2, or is right now is it essentially to survive the waves and complete the objectives as they pop up?
The fun thing about creating sort of a box where you can get in and play how you want to. That it really depends on what you're doing, what you're bringing into this. Like for most first-time players, it would be a case of survive and familiarize yourself. Learn where the weapon boxes are, learn where the ammo is, and learn where the zombies are going to be coming through. The players that have done that have familiarized themselves, now you want to start doing, the professional Easter egg hunters, they go into every single corner. They listen to every little rustling of the leaves and why is that rubber ducky in the corner? And try to figure this stuff out. Richie, depends what degree you're comfortable with. I know Jay can probably pencil sketch this level in the dark. As one of the designers behind what happened here, but I'm going to say for now, for our purposes here, let's focus on surviving and see if we can get through how many maps we can cruise through, because there's
still a lot to look at. Like I'm not disappointed with that answer.
All right,
I'm just getting my feet wet here.
Now, what are you guys repairing here? I see they're trying to repair.
So now we've got to the next element, the kind of random element. The occasional rounds in every single map. We have 3 cases where you're going to get a randomly generated challenge. Okay. It might be an escort mission. It might be a seek and destroy mission. It might be a protect this area mission.
And it's going to be different every time you play.
Every single time you play. And hell, we'll bring zeppelins in to shoot laser beams out of the sky at you.
On wave 3 zeppelins over there.
And so it really is a case of every single time you jump in, it's going to be a massively different experience. And so it's one of the qualities that I've seen you can find. And there's a death, which is going to happen. Ooh. You will randomly get things that are harder than you can handle.
Y'all did pretty good.
Yeah,
first try.
This was your first time in.
So is this?
I was alive. I thought.
Real quick, is this more difficult than previous?
Yeah, it definitely ramped up. Like from the start, it kind of just like kicked my ass right away.
Yeah. Which again, even narratively and on the gameplay, we're in the thick of it now. Anybody who has survived up until now in the story has got to be a pro player. And like I was saying, the people who have been along the journey this far, the one thing that's impressed me about people who, specifically zombies players, is they tend to be creative problem solvers. Like there are a lot of people they're Twitch gamers. There are a lot of people, and Twitch, I mean not the streaming service, but the actual, it's adrenaline. Some people are all about accuracy. Some people are all about quick movement. Zombie players just tend to be more flexible, and that's how you get in. That's how you solve Easter eggs that range from different languages to different orders to translating Morse code to throwing a grenade in just the right spot, or and so this means that this type of gameplay where we're switching things off, where you've got to make sure you've got a loadout that can handle both a lot of damage but also a lot of survival, and so it means we're seeing a lot of players do less of a okay, I'm going to go all damage. I'm like, okay, we'll get the free fire, but let's also make sure that I'm bringing along a revive. Let's make sure I'm and so we're seeing a lot more kind of vivid kind of multicolored play styles coming into this because you have to be able to flex with whatever mission is thrown at you.
Yeah, I can see already. It's like breaking like techniques and traditions that I know already.
Yep.
And again, these cutscenes. Oh, we skipped on.
Well, you can skip through it. We've already forced you to watch it the first time.
So talk to me about, for you as the creative director, there are obviously some pretty wild things that have gone on so far in the first couple chapters since the game's launch. What is the process like for you? Where do you begin? Like that's so fascinating to me. We've come a long way so far.
Yeah.
When you first sat down day one, how long did it take for you to get to up until this point, I guess you could say?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's not a process that you say we're done. Like it's just as your audience kind of evolves and gets accustomed to different play styles and different elements of the narrative, your story evolves with them. And so I lead with story. Like that is for me what drives a game that will make you want to come back. You know, I mean, you've got to always have gameplay. Gameplay is first, but that's something that was already fairly established. So the first thought was, okay, great. We're accompanied with a World War II game with a fairly straightforward, good versus evil experience right there. Is there anything in that existing world, in that campaign, that we want to play with? And some of the other studios have said, and in fact, I think we're the first studio to make our zombies game so intimately tied with our campaign and single player that we literally have a character from the single player campaign that is recruited by the Bureau. It's our bad agent. Is actually a part of that story. So starting from that spot, we could say, well, what was going on at the time? Was there anything scientifically happening where we could introduce a zombie story? Was there any one military or political group that was into weird occult studies and things like that?
I wonder who.
It's funny how once you start asking those questions, it just opened up to all this really exciting stuff. And I mean, obviously, other franchises like Indiana Jones or Hellboy have taken this and run with it. And so, we considered those very much kind of inspirational points for us. And so one of the fun things was deciding, so many zombie stories, so many fascinating zombie stories are about a plague, about a virus, about some biological agent. So we decided, what if we go in another direction? What if we go somewhere different? Especially because in the 1940s and 50s, this was still not a very well understood sort of science. But what was being dug into in that era, this was the atomic age. This is when people were uncovering what's the atom and what's the power held between these elements. And in Germany, they were making some incredible strides. It was called the Deutsche Physik, as they kind of we had to do a lot of this research, right? And so we're like, well, why not have them uncovered a new particle? And so I've actually got a buddy at MIT that I call and I bounce all this stuff off of.
Whoa. Does this sound realistic?
Yeah, I'm like, is this just realistic enough to be? If it at least segs into the theoretical, can we pass this? And so we've got a material that is a monopolarized magnetic ore. And it's a theoretical substance that could potentially have one end in this universe and the other end in another entirely separate dimension, and is combining electrons with gravitons to create this new, what the Germans are calling Geistkraft.
You lost Nick.
No, I'm still on board. It's amazing to see how much effort you guys put into it and I love it. And
if you're gonna be making a Call of Duty game, you're gonna have the audience you have, and people get so dedicated to and committed to this. Why not put all that thought and effort and story into it? And so I'm a science fiction author as well as creative director on this, and so it was just a rich field to kind of tell all of this story. So we've got this energy source, and you can run it through a dead nervous system, and it activates the primitive portions of the brain. And all of a sudden, when we figured that out, we're like, oh, well, what if that isn't our kind of in-game currency?
Right.
Why not get rid of the relatively silly idea of zombies dropping money when you kill them, and have it actually this energy that the Nazis have learned how to absorb and turn into an energy source that they can power to open their gun boxes and their gates. And so really a lot of it just kind of came together at that point. And then you bring in your cast of characters. You've got to give them their own challenges and struggles and why they're here, and we really the first struggle for the first few chapters of the game was, can we make this seem like this possibly could have happened, like this it was hidden in the shadows of history. Obviously, by this point, now that we're in the tortured path, and in our last game in Berlin, we really had the undead step out of the shadows, and we literally had Dr. Straub flew in from his secretive base to rescue the SS leadership and saved Adolf Hitler's life, and now the war has taken a completely different turn. That we've changed the course of history.
Right.
And now, whereas in our own timeline, at this date, there were parades in the middle of Germany and France and Spain. Now we're trying to get a caravan through a blockade of undead that are sweeping across Europe.
Yeah, I find it so fascinating because, a lot of the previous zombie iterations in Call of Duty have been very kind of like survival, wave-based. I know the previous Call of Duty was a lot of fun where you had the 80s synth sounds and music, and it was very colorful, and it was kind of wacky.
So much fun. Yeah, that Lee Ross and the team over at IW, they really they hit an amazing nerve of just, David Hasselhoff and George Romero and the wonderful thing about having these different studios, they do it is like they so hit that nerve so perfectly. It left it wide open for us to be like, okay, we're gonna go scary.
Yeah.
We're gonna go scary and historic and science fictionally, accurate.
And if you haven't played this yet, obviously right off the get-go, from the tutorial mission, that horror element is boom, it's front and center.
Right.
Because I remember we were in the room, everybody was playing for the first time for the review event.
Yep.
And that first jump scare, all around the room you'd hear ah!
Yeah.
Like everyone's would be like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was.
And then you get it, you're like, ah!
That was something we wanted, because it's very challenging to scare people in a zombie wave map, because they're expecting zombies. You're always running, you're always moving, and so I was like, okay, if we're gonna do a tutorial, if we're gonna kind of slow things down to that, I'm like, we're gonna make that a haunted house. We're gonna make that a scary sort of event. And we played with jump scares, and we've still got them to some degree, but we really found. After a while, when people are into the role of the game, the scary needs to be something different. It needs to be the fear of something's chasing me and right behind me.
Right.
And the jump scares, I don't know if you noticed, we've completely dialed those down. They just, they're more frustrating than scary after a certain point.
And now, talking about kind of like jump scares and sounds and stuff, how important is audio to you as a storyteller? Because I know there are certain instances when you're somewhere, you're in a room, and a zombie comes from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Or a zombie comes from below, and you kind of hear that quick burst of music that's like, whoa, okay, something's here. How important is audio for you when you're trying to tell a story?
Audio is vital. It's kind of like the unknown hero in a lot of game design. And at Sledgehammer, our sound design team is award-winning. They are so pro. They're very good not only at the orchestration of the music's there, but those subtle sounds, the crunching of a footstep in the gravel, the moans, the breathing. Like I was able to even geek out with them and talk about. I'm like, okay, so just so you know, our zombies don't breathe per se. Like they don't have, and so I don't want a whole lot of gaspy sounds, but they can definitely contract their lungs and larynx for, in this kind of primitive brainstem attempt to scare, and they totally got it, and we're able to roll with those sounds as well. So no, I can't speak highly enough of our incredible sound design team.
Yeah, and then I guess from sound we'll go to map design. When you're telling these stories, how do you go about creating these maps? Because this one right here already kind of reminds me of a couple of the multiplayer maps, I think, Richie. Yeah. Which one does it remind you most of?
You know what? Actually, with all of these buildings, I'm thinking of Keratin, that one that was remade.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of okay. Excuse me for a second. A lot of windows, a lot of seeming places to hide. But,
we get that a lot. A lot of that is very, very much a deliberate attempt to say, since this game is happening in the same game world as our single player and our MP, really. We just had the Attack of the Undead event. We wanted to have it feel seamless. you know. And so that meant we took a lot of strong notes from the art direction in each of those cases. Then so our map design team, our environmental artists, you know, we're challenged that how can you create a world where you're walking through a building that looks like a war-torn edifice from World War II that has to be so realistic that the minute you see one of these horrifying creatures, I think it's scarier. I think it is scarier to be in a real-world situation when a zombie pops out than in when you're in more of a cartooned-out environment. You know, and so that was the challenge. Is design zombies that look like they are literally stitched together from corpses using the technology of the time.
I think we're seeing a perfect example right
This
here.
is the Moichler, which is the it's one of our assassin zombies from the Darkest Shore that everybody thought they'd safely left behind. I've heard more screams from people playing against these guys than anything else. The best part about them is they're actually some of our more intelligent. The AI in these guys is pretty brutal.
I can't outrun them, and they keep like
and they
always
catch
right behind me.
Yep. Usually one of the important things about classic zombies is they can never run fast than you. You need to always be able to turn around and shoot them while you're running. And so our team was just basically, okay, well, how about screw that? And let's bring in something that they can get you. And so you better be able to take them down.
Yeah.
You got a supply drop coming in.
We're going to wave 7.
You guys are doing it. This is. Are we feeling confident, Jay? All right, I'm getting the thumbs up from our pro over here.
And just as a reminder, there's only 2 people playing.
Yep.
Only 2. We try to get 4 here in the studio, but for some reason it doesn't like us. The studio says no, only 2 may play. So that's why I have Richie, our expert, here. You're killing it as usual.
Jay also.
And so.
Yeah, well,
Jay,
Jay's an expert.
Any recommendations on the blitzes that he's going to want to pick up through here?
The running one for the assassins.
Yeah, you definitely want the speed. We got pests coming at you. We got the Moichlers, and yeah.
Oh boy.
And at this phase, you're probably going to be wanting to use the Uber Spring in our Pack-a-Punch machine to level up your.
So that's another interesting thing. Like in the past, where you had like gumballs and that sort of thing. What made you guys choose to change the way that operates? I mean, those things kind of still exist with the Jolt machines, but things are a little bit different than previous iterations of zombies.
Yeah, we really like one of the core tenets of this game that we really wanted to be tangible as you're playing is the flow and the speed, and so our blitz machines are going to you've got to. If you're going to go to the blitz machine, it's going to lock you down and it's going to put a jolt in your hand. And so you've got like half a second to do that. You've got to plan your speed when that happens. However, once you've got it, we didn't want to have a complicated sense of like, well, I've got to analyze this and go into my start menu and jiggle these around. We wanted everything to feel like you get it and you go. You get it and you run. And the speed and the ability to flow through this stuff is so important for this type of gameplay.
Oh boy.
So Jay just packed a bunch of his pistols and
Richie's down.
And he blinded the
can't see
undead
him.
and he's gonna go help.
Oh god.
No.
Oh god.
Is he gonna
Richie,
change?
you sure?
He's gonna-
Oh, bless you.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
This
See,
is,
he handled it. Look at that.
Yeah. That's.
Okay, this is why Jay's
moving
here.
along. Yeah.
Jay doesn't want to be on camera because he's such an expert. He doesn't want fans to come up to him. That's what's going on.
He's too pro.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah, he's all about the craft, the art of professional playing.
art of
The recognition is tertiary here. So.
Were you guys involved in any E3 this year? Or did you guys get down there?
They had the super exciting announcement of Black Ops 4,
Yep.
and this was very much our brothers at Treyarch. It was their show, so I was actually there, and but it's fun to kind of go more incognito and just kind of see what's going on there. And
Last year was you
was
guys
ours,
were working like crazy.
Oh yeah.
This year it's fun to go enjoy, right?
Yeah, go and we got to go through and of course got to play the Black Ops and meet with some and there were some fans that because I tweeted that I was out there that I got to meet up with and shake some hands and the zombies community is so cool. Like it's because this is a co-op game. It requires you to have squads. It requires you to be helping out. It requires this is not a good game for prima donnas, you know, And so yeah, I've already made some dear friends. Just by being a part of this community. There now, which is not to say that they're the nicest people in the world. I mean, when you're passionate, you can be passionately
constructive criticism sometimes.
Constructive criticism about it as well. But that passion, I mean, that passion wouldn't be there if we weren't creating something that inspired it, right?
Yeah.
Like you can almost gauge the quality of the game by how much hate you're able to draw sometimes, you know?
I mean, it was definitely like an experience for you guys right during the launch of the game.
Yeah.
Like there were some hiccups here and there,
Thanks,
but
Jay.
for the most part, everybody was super positive about it. And I saw that most of the criticism were like very constructive. People seemed to be like, I mean, you're gonna have it here and there. You're gonna have
And
a
we
couple
knew we
people
went out
involved.
on a limb with this game because
Yeah.
the zombie players like their traditional gameplay, you know, and we're like, we with Final Reich, Darkest Shore, especially with the Shadowed Throne, like we feel like we hit top marks with traditional maps.
Yeah.
So like, you know what? We're in a nice place here. Let's shake it up a little bit.
And I
Let's
think it's
see if
cool
we
when
can-
you guys take some risks, like
Yeah.
having an HQ, where it's like all those players are inside that hub world and stuff like that. And like I would rather have developers take risks and try to make things work and have a little bit of hiccups at the beginning than have something where it's the same thing every year. It's the same iteration of zombies. Like this is so cool. We're only on chapter 1. Maybe we'll get to chapter 2. I don't know.
Dude, that Woosling is taking you that is a battle right there. That was a battle
He's
of
still
epic
running.
proportions.
You're
You'll
gonna get-
notice Jay, it's very important that he gets right behind that spine. If you gotta go for the spine, that will make the Wooslings so less frustrating.
Oh boy, we're low on ammo. Both of you. Richie's rocking an MG42.
We're round
over
8
here.
though.
Just picked it up. Yeah.
8's complete. Oh boy.
We are almost
boy.
out. We are almost out.
So now there is
charges.
one more iteration, one more DLC pack coming.
The final chapter is coming, and all our questions will be answered. And but we're setting up some really interesting conundrums with this with the tortured path, and some of which have not even been discovered yet. You know, and this is you know. I think my favorite thing, the whole team, they've been working so hard for the past few months on this DLC, and being able to sit, we've got in our break room, we've got a ton of monitors up. We're watching different streamers, different players going through, seeing how close they're getting to uncovering the mysteries, and we're cheering for the zombies, right? You know, I mean, we love that a community's out there, but we're like, every time I see a Woosling take down a player who is about to solve that Easter egg, it means that it's extended the mystery by, I know it seems like we're just sadistic bastards cheering for the undead, but
Hey, cheering on your game, I feel like.
but you know that the community at large is loving it almost seems like the kinetic energy of that mystery grows with every hour that passed without it having been solved. And so, in fact, we even take bets on how long it's going to take before everybody finds, the mysteries here. And I think people know, like there are some things that have to be done before we can say it's all finished here and we get our, our final epic ending cinematic. We need to put together the Sword of Barbarossa. That needs to be forged. That needs to be brought out and needs to. Uh-oh. We've got some death going on here.
Oh, no. Now, was that one of the optional objectives?
Yes. So again,
you
we've
guys
got
screwed.
in this case, you've got to defend. The idea is our heroes have been able to. They ransacked the SS, their storehouses in Berlin, and they had kept a lot of the weaponry, a lot of the energy sources that they've been collecting over the years as they had the hilt of Barbarossa.
Right.
And so, without even really knowing everything there was, they said, grab it all, put it in the back of the truck, and get out of here. So there are some dangerous elements here. There are some things they just know, we got to protect these, and we got to get this out to our headquarters. We need to get this stuff out to Langley in West Virginia and get into it and dig out and research what's going on. And so that's given us a great excuse to say, well, yeah, you got to protect this stuff.
You have
and
to
you're gonna
protect
have
it.
to be able to pull this off. So
I feel like that was the toughest one you guys got. In the
That got pretty
basement.
brutal.
We did better,
You had
but
a
it was
good-
definitely tougher.
In the
It
basement,
bested
like
us.
trapped down there.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
yeah.
And once they destroy one of those optional optional pieces that'll break you from your progress.
Yeah,
that'll stop you.
you got to be successful in these missions, or you will be taken down.
I believe in you guys. I believe. I believe last time.
So
I
do you
still
think
believe.
you guys need to mix it up in your specials, maybe?
What do you suggest? Let's see here. Let me actually back up here.
We got low on ammo, so Free Fire might be
We did. Okay.
a good option there. Jay, what do you think?
I think you just gotta utilize your Jack in the Boxes.
Yeah, Jack in the Box are key, and
I
it's
used
interesting in
one.
this. You will get those from some of your supply drops. It's
Yeah.
Pack mules.
you want to be wise with them. You do not wish to just scatter them around.
Well, what do you think? Are you impressed so far? 2 people?
Yeah. This is actually really. Again, this is built for 4. It's challenging for 2. It's brutal for 1. But you know what? I've already seen some solo players out there.
Oh boy.
Just killing it on this, and you got to know how to run, turn, and fire if you're going to be doing this. Solo.
There are some guys, especially even at the events we were at previously, playing alone.
Yep.
And you're looking,
Yep.
and you're like,
And some people
how'd they get
prefer
so
it.
far? Like, what?
And like our rule is no. The game can be, can in italics be beat solo.
Right.
But it is the elite of the elite are able to do that. It is a lot more fun with the group.
Right.
Definitely
And
community.
that's the strength. That's the strength of this sort of game.
Exactly.
It is at its heart. It is a cooperative game, and so that's what we built. That's where most of the energy goes into.
So with one more DLC coming,
Right.
how are you and your team on the zombies kind of feeling? How are things? You feel like you're wrapping up? You feel like you're closing the final chapter?
Yeah,
Does it feel
yeah.
like the journey is coming to an end? Or?
You know, the team is incredibly proud of what we've
Yeah.
done, and we knew we were taking a risk. We were essentially starting a new. It was kind of like starting a new story,
Yeah.
a new franchise, and we knew Blundell and the crew over at Treyarch, they had their signature style, their signature zombies that
Yeah.
are wonderful. Lee and the IW crew, took it to a
Yeah.
whole zany different degree, and so we wanted to say we wanted to put our fingerprints on. This is what Sledgehammer Zombies is about. This
Yeah.
is how it feels.
The horror feel.
the horror, the realism, and the adventure, and the team is very, very proud of this. We've there were some challenges along the way. I think everybody in the industry was kind of taken aback with Fortnite exploding, and
Yeah.
but we looking at our numbers, we got back right when a lot of that was hitting was when our Shadow Throne came out, and we actually saw a ramp up in numbers. The Shadow Throne captured enough people's interest that
Yeah.
it actually got some more fire going on that. And so we've got just this very ferociously loyal community that's excited about what we're doing and hanging on what's going to be happening next. And yeah, we really feel like we've created a universe here where there are so many stories that could be told. Right?
Yeah.
We've shifted from World War II with something sneaky and dark going on in the background too, and we've just opened up, a 1945 zombie apocalypse.
Right.
And so there's so much that can be happening there. However, we are telling a complete story. This, as you can tell, this is essentially an element of the rising action on the tortured path.
Right.
The massive climax that's coming in our next chapter is
The final chapter.
is gonna leave people entirely satisfied, but I'm sure we're going to be hungry to be able to come back to this universe if we can.
And that must feel very successful for you guys, you and your team, like coming all the way to where you guys are now. It's just such an exciting it's an exciting time for you guys to be wrapping things up too.
For sure. Oh, for sure. It was. There was some fear. There was some the zombies community can be a pretty loyal, tight circle, but they've really been. They were dubious at first. There was some
Yep.
criticism at first, which of course was on point and accurate. But yeah, we really feel like we've kind of been welcomed into the gates here.
And we talk about this pretty much every year here at GameSpot. I've been here a little bit over 2 years now. Year after year, the Call of Duty community, they show up in the numbers. It is one of the most popular games on site year after year
Look at
after
this
year.
explosion.
Oh! Oh, nice.
bombers and a jack-in-the-box and a grenade.
Oh my god.
That is of Heligoland proportions.
But yeah, every single year you see the popularity. You see how many players are playing. You see it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's a very kind of lively group to be.
Oh.
That was a interesting. Since it's football season, that was kind of a header of a jack-in-the-box. Interesting. That's Jay being just appropriate to the season.
Have you guys been watching the World Cup in the office?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Feels a little weird not having the US of A in there.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
It's okay.
Cheering for. I don't know if you've been following Mexico at all, but
Yep.
we're seeing some
Yeah.
glorious stuff.
My Italian team did not make it,
Oh.
but it's okay. It's all right. We're getting off track here. It's not even World Cup. Get back to it. All right, Richie, how are you feeling? This is round 3 for you.
Pretty good. Just got to pick up I think I want a new assault rifle here.
Okay.
Well, so
But I
Richie,
need-
are you seeing the the difference between this game and the game you just played? You know, I have seen entirely different adventures, different tactics you're taking in the. By the way, that was some good use of Jack in the Box action.
Very
right
nice,
there.
Jay. Those Jack-in-the-Box ones.
Yeah.
He's an expert, as always. I have high hopes for this round. I feel like this is, oh my god, pandemonium. So how often do you play yourself?
You know, I try to play every day. I try to get in and play. Now, I am not as. I mean, Jay is just like a scalpel with this game. He goes, and I'm a little bit more of a baseball bat.
Do you play alone, or you try to play with others?
I try to play with others. I'll try to get in on that. But sometimes, you know, you're just late and you're just, okay, I need to pull this up. There's nothing better than actually being able to open up the level, go through. And I'm a detail guy. Like I'm the geek that will go into a level and like go try to see how high I can climb and watch the sunset and get that feel. You know, which meant I had to be, you know, physically removed from games like Skyrim and and so that's why like you'll notice there's so much detail in these maps. Our environmental design and level design crew is just OCD in the best way possible about making sure that
The attention to detail.
would this be the exact sort of technology that you could have seen right there? Like I know we've got the Geistcraft, but what color of wiring would the Nazis have had to build this around the brass container? Like you hear some of the best discussions ever just walking around the office.
It's incredible.
With some attention to detail,
Right. Well,
to say
for
the
instance,
least.
this is right now we're in the a northern we're in northern Spain. We're in a bodega, a Spanish winery and
wine
windmill
cellar,
service.
right?
Yeah, and there was all kinds of research over what sort of wood foundations would we build? What kind of stones would they have
Right.
had to go through that? And the funny thing is like. The fans, the players, as they go through, a lot of them will end up doing that kind of research as well to see if there's something, a little bit off. Is there something where they can find? Okay, you know what? That, one of my favorite ones in the final Reich is we left clues towards our expansions, towards the DLCs in a lot of that, and a lot of it were photographs of. We had a picture of the island of Heligoland in the final Reich, and there were some very astute players who were just like, why is there this picture of this weird island? It does not look like a vacation spot.
Right.
They were onto you.
Yeah, and so that is, I think, one of the first instincts of a pro Easter egg hunter is look for something that seems out of place. Look for something that's not quite there. And if you trust the game design team, it's not a case of, oh, they just didn't do their homework and didn't think doing that.
Right.
It's like, that was deliberate.
And if you follow your own Reddits, like the Call of Duty Reddits, the zombie Reddits, it's unbelievable to see the level of speculation, the level of, does this have a meaning? Does this have a meaning? It's
It's a conspiracy.
Awesome.
Oh, I did something brutal. I actually, with Don Vecca, who's our sound director, we came up with a zombie language.
Oh,
And just completely messed with phonetics
Y'all are
and
sick.
and it was sort of thing where like when you're a zombie, it's gonna be like gargling and it's got a half-rotten tongue and a larynx that's hanging out of its throat. So you're not gonna think along that, but man. The players have been able to. They started putting 2 and 2 together and said, "Wait, they're saying the same thing over and over again. What does that mean?"
What does that mean?
And that was brutal because we don't give you subtitles for what they're saying. So you've got to try and record the language from their slurred zombie mouths. See if you can decode it, and they've done it. They've done it.
I believe it.
And it's only now we're getting a lot of our more astute folks in the community that are posting clues to where things are going in our DLC.
I really hope that everyone who's watching right now is listening to the attention to detail from the creative director himself. This is just, very rarely do you get to see the details, the nitty-gritty background of something like this. You're like, oh, it's zombie mode. Like how much detail can we put in? This is awesome to hear everything that you're saying right now.
Well, it's you put it in because you know it's what is expected, and it's like this is if you're gonna be, I mean it's really an honor to be a creator in a franchise that has so many tens of millions of followers. The attention to detail, you're gonna be under so many eyes. You want it to be the best possible creation that you can put forward. You want it to be something that people will remember. You want it to be something that people will talk to their kids about, you know?
Yeah.
And being the world's first to solve this Easter egg, being the first to translate what was being said. And so why not, you know? Why not put your heart and soul into what you're doing?
What is the difference for you creatively when you're writing creatively not for a game versus for a game like Call of Duty?
That's a good question. I'm a published author. I've got a science fiction novel as well, and it's a different degree of freedom when you're writing for that because you're just expressing for yourself. You're telling your own story. Well, when you're writing for Call of Duty, when you're calling for the zombies community, you have to be aware of what's been said before. You have to be aware of what's expected. You have to be aware of what the community hates, you know, and because it's more a case of you've been entrusted to kind of continue carrying that torch. It's a lot like, do you remember watching like a superhero movie? I'm not going to name the one, but done by a director who just decided to make it all their own. Like I'm going to do it.
I think I'm on.
Yeah. There may have been something along the Batman series where this happened, and it was like, it was offensive. It was like I was like, no, this is our Batman. You know, this is our. You know, I think it's one of the reasons why people so love the Avengers movies, and even some of the more recent Spider-Man movies have been done by directors and produced by teams who you can tell they grew up on the comics. They love it just as much as we do, and so it's more a case of they're writing and creating for us rather than for themselves. And that's kind of what it feels like doing the zombies game is like. We love zombies. We're a part of this. This is what we enjoy about zombies. Oh, you unlocked the pack punch.
Nice.
The Überspringen. And so that's really I think the key to being able to lock in with the fan community is making sure that they understand, like, hey, we would not create something that we didn't love. And by we didn't love, I mean us, the community. And so it's a different sort of a pressure and sort of an honor, you know?
Do you feel like there's more pressure when
man.
writing something like this versus writing one of your novels, or?
It's a different pressure.
Okay.
It's a different sort of pressure. Yeah, like it's hard to say more or less. I definitely
a different audience.
Yeah. Well, and I've done writing. I was at Blizzard for about 6 years, and you definitely feel like, wow, there are a lot of very critical eyes are going to be on what we're doing, and so in that case, everything you write, you want to make sure it's exciting and interesting and well crafted, but you want to take reverence for the feelings and expectations of those who are invested in what we're doing, and there are people that have years invested in the zombie mode, you know, and you want to treat that with reverence. Yeah.
When it first came out, I remember how it was a game changer.
Yeah.
It totally, there was. You had classic multiplayer, you had classic
talking about World of War, zombies.
Yeah, World of War.
Yeah.
And then that first time, because honestly, I feel like the first one, when it came out, it was hard. It was a horror thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't as in-depth as we're seeing now with the kind of characters and you're in these kind of tiny environments.
There wasn't even a storyline, really.
Yeah, no really story.
No.
But I remember playing for hours and hours and hours with my friends online.
Yeah.
Nonstop. And it was like it was a whole new experience that no one really wanted, but now we need. Now it's a
It
staple.
was kind of one of these happy surprises. It was kind of one of these things where even the devs are like, you know, it was a pretty quick and easy thing to do to throw in these
Side game.
Yeah.
It was
And
something
they're like-
we didn't know we wanted.
Yeah,
we had no idea.
And here's the fun part, like that experience of like, whoa, we just stumbled across something that is super fun. When the team and I first started playing with these smaller maps with these objective-based elements and the switch up, we already love zombies. We already love playing that. But this is the first mode in a while that I've had the team staying after hours beyond the overtime just because they wanted to.
Yeah.
And they're smack talking and they're cheering and I'm like, that we hit something there. We hit something there. And this is I think this may end up being one of the favorite modes out of our entire chapter.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love each of the chapters we've told.
Right.
But there is something about this this quick, fun, rewarding. I mean, as silly as it may sound, I love that we've got a zombies mode that you can win. Like in usual survival modes, it's you play until you die.
Right.
So even when you win, you lose, right?
Yeah.
And in this one, you're like, no, guess what? You go through and you can win, and they're the objectives. And high five, our folks, they live and move on to fight another day.
Plus, if you're one of these popular streamers, you're the first one to figure out a clue.
Right.
First one to find an Easter egg. Like,
Right.
there's just so many different ways to win.
There's a lot to this there. And again, I've kind of hinted at this on Twitter. For those of you that love the survival mode, that love the endless zombies, like hey, we learned with Groston House, which was our little kind of preview. We put that out as a survival map, to unlock. That is just way fun. And I mean, here we've got a bunch of little maps, and you got to trust us. We're gonna deliver, but we're not just gonna give it to you.
Right. You got to be patient, and you got to have a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Gotta earn it.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the Sledgehammer way, right? You're gonna have to fight like the hidden characters, the unlockable characters. You would not believe the brutal unlocking paths that we created for some of these characters, and yet the community just devoured it. We're winning. Okay, we are at wave 8 here. This is
Deja vu.
I'm proud regardless.
this is awesome. We got a beautiful Geistcraft shimmer going across the pack punch there. Oh, wave 9, and you got the moistures. This is gonna be fun.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is a good choice of
go.
Jack in the Box.
Bang. Oh God, Jay, kill them! They look like spiders.
It's like necromorphs.
You know what? That's another thing I'll say. There are zombies in this mode, World War II, in this game, that just make me feel just uncomfortable.
You should be disturbed.
You know?
You should be disturbed. Yeah.
They make my skin crawl.
Yeah. I mean, they were. I'm not going to get into like the philosophical, spin on zombies and Nazis and the horror and all that sort of thing. But we wanted to make sure that they felt like they were not some sort of like spin off of a biological thing. That was one of our initial kind of art things. Is we're not going to show mutation-looking growing things. They needed to look engineered, and I wanted to see the painful combination of cold iron, electricity, and bruised, inflamed, damaged flesh. And the idea of how can we take limbs and organs and elements that were supposed to serve us some purpose, but twist them around another. You'll notice the moistures. To give them a praying mantis-like claw at the end of their limbs. Well, what kind of looks praying mantis-y in a corpse? It's the spine with broken ribs on that. And so if you had to think in a cold, monstrous way, if you had a fairly limitless source of human bodies, what would you build? And that's one of the twisted things about building a game like that is like you have to put yourself into the mind of the disturbed individuals that would have come up with this, and it was an interesting journey.
Combo.
All right. Oh, this is.
All right, guys.
We're in wave 9. We're in wave 9. I think we're going to see this one through. I'm always the challenge of having the Tesla gun there because you had to fight so hard to get the Tesla gun in the final
In the
Reich.
final Reich, yeah.
That even though I'll have a pack-a-punched, beautiful gun, and I'm like, but the Tesla gun, you gotta have a Tesla gun.
It's hard to just see it
Oh
sitting there.
my.
Okay, you got
God.
a shield down. You got a shield down. Take that guy. And Jay knows exactly what to shoot him in the sensitive spots.
Oh my God.
Backing up.
I'm not even playing, I'm stressing out. Oh my God. Oh, you're dangerously close.
Yeah, that's the problem with a flamethrower is that you can't really just kind of duck and cover.
Yeah. Oh.
He is right.
Oh.
That's where I put a Jack in the Box. Yeah, there you go.
Come on.
Oof.
There
Oh,
we go.
sheesh.
There we go. Boom.
How is he still?
Jay- You went for the wait till you see the whites of their eyes situation. He's like, hold it, wait for it, wait
Is that
for
a
it.
tell? Ooh.
He's like, you guys want to see some sick gameplay?
Oh well, he's got an impenetrable shield on him that is only taken down by the ordnance bombing that comes down. So you do not want to waste a bullet on him until that shield goes down.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are taking notes at home.
Oh, the community has figured this one out. Last night before I went to bed, it was.
It's incredible how quickly the community, boom,
Wow.
It's that
they've
fast,
got
They're
it.
brilliant. They are brilliant. Like we will sit and stew over the difficulty and the hidden nature of
Yeah.
some of these mysteries for days on end. And the community's like, okay, 10 seconds, we got this.
Yeah.
Move it. We're like, damn you, brilliant bastards.
Now, Easter eggs, where do
Yeah.
those come in your process?
We create the structure first. We
Okay.
create the story. The one thing we decided in that's unique to our map is the core elements of the story. The main story beats are only going to be visible, are only going to be happening if you solve the Easter eggs.
Okay.
Because we know that's the heart. That's the soul of the zombie games. If you just want to get in and do Survivor, that's awesome. You'll have a fun Survivor experience, but you're not getting the meat and bones of the story.
Okay.
And so we establish the story. We'll build out the levels, and then probably some of my favorite meetings with this team are when we sit down and we rub our knuckles together and say what would be the most evil, twisted, hard to uncover story elements that we could uncover. You guys got this.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
I'm sort of doing damage control on the outer ends.
There
here,
we go.
while
Yeah,
Jay
you're
is
Jay's tanking.
handling it.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, uh-oh.
If we get past this, I have to ask our producer in the back if we're allowed to
Are we
play
pushing it? Are we
one
pushing
more
it?
chapter.
Because we wanna make this through.
I don't know if you guys
Oh, we got
have-
another Jack in the Box.
I don't want to jinx it, so I'm
gonna
going to
get-
shut up.
Yeah, we'll just wait till they come in.
Yeah,
we got the thumbs up. All right.
thumbs up.
All right. So we're gonna witness the
Watch me
takedown.
die right now.
Don't die.
Get in and shoot that tank. You want to get that guy down. He's so close.
Oh my God.
Hiya!
Did you just give him a hiya?
I did.
All
I
right.
can't watch. I can't watch. Do it!
I'm reloading.
You guys
Bring him in. We got the ordinance coming.
I don't even want to ask any
Oh,
questions
his shield's
right now.
back up.
Oh, no. Oh,
The burning. Oh, Jay.
Jay, run.
If you take him down while you're bleeding out, this is the kind of
God,
last
my
second.
man. Jay, no!
He's at revive.
Oh, we got it.
Oh my God.
Oh!
Here comes the bomb.
This is it. This is 10, right?
Yep. Oh boy. Well, I mean, we take him down and then we gotta get him
Well, yeah, this is
out of there.
This is step one.
Oh,
Yay!
they did it. That was
All
beautiful.
right.
That was beautiful. I was.
Can we get Jay a camera? Please. I didn't do any of that.
Told you, man. Jay doesn't want me
So we've cleared out the wave. We cleared out the ambush. You've survived. They're probably going to be sending in some backup. So now you just got to get the extraction.
Oh my
Boy,
God.
that's
That'll
our
be-
new
yeah, I was going to
objective.
say this is what we call narratively the denouement of the experience.
You're not done?
We gotta escape.
Oh my God.
I mean, you
Playtime
survived,
is over.
but there's a little more needs
Richie,
to be
stay
happening
with him.
here.
Don't lose him.
Right here.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So there's a countdown. You see,
we are surrounded.
you got 45 seconds to
Come on, boys.
make it out of there, and you can't be running, willy nilly. You're gonna have to make sure you
No,
get
they're
to the
coming from
extraction point too.
everywhere.
Y'all are working together. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Do I have any more? Fresh out of Jack in the Box.
30 seconds.
Oh.
25 seconds.
All right, they've
instruction.
created an outline for where you need to be.
Oh, but it's hot. Oh boy.
Oh, there. You kite him there, and Jay will kind of clean up your leavings.
Here we go.
Oh.
All right, 10 seconds.
Jay.
10 seconds.
Oh my god.
Get there.
Oh.
No, I'm crawling. I'm crawling.
Oh my god.
Did you make it?
I got a trophy.
You did it.
We got.
That is by the skin of your teeth. That
Yeah,
was.
that shouldn't have been allowed.
Yeah, by the skin of your
Yes.
remaining final tooth.
Yes. Oh man.
Yeah. Well done. Well
Wow.
done.
If I didn't make it and he did, would have it counted?
I believe
It
all
would
gotta
just
be in there,
ended.
right?
No, I think both of you have to make it
Oh,
right.
I think it's just one. Yeah, that's right. We
Oh,
switched
just
that
one.
up. Yeah, you just
Oh,
gotta do
okay.
one.
You're
Maybe.
okay.
Hey,
We're not
You're
monsters.
okay.
We're not monsters here.
they are okay. They're the monsters. All the
Okay.
zombies.
So now we've unlocked chapter 2, yes?
We're on chapter 2 here. We're able to
Would-
head over to the ship.
Would you have time to maybe show a brief look at chapter 2?
Well, I would love to. It's up to you guys. I mean, these are your cameras. You're paying for the lights.
We
so-
got the
I
thumbs
believe
up.
we got the thumbs up.
Okay.
Guan Luke said it's okay.
Okay.
So
I say we run for it because this is. You just had an expansive little sort of open field windmill to run down. We're gonna make things a little more claustrophobic now. We're gonna get
What?
a little more tight on you.
all right, we'll see how far I can get here. I'll keep an eye on the clock. We've been going for about an hour now, but
Oh, really?
okay, I'll keep an eye. So that was pretty good.
What
so
a
Diggy
rush.
2, about an hour to finish. Chapter 1. Now we're going. What is this? Across into the depths.
Yep. Across
So now
the depths.
are we going down into sewers?
We're going places. We're going places.
Okay.
So the journey. If you've seen the cinematic, we've just gone from Berlin down through France, down through Spain, and we got to the port of Malaga, which is on the southern coast of Spain.
Okay.
We got aboard the last remaining convoy of Allied ships. Because we need to get these things to our next stop. The southern seas are unfortunately just teeming with German U-boats.
Okay.
And
great.
of course the Germans have figured out a way to
Fun.
create a torpedo that is a delivery device for the undead.
Oh, that's fun.
So we've got the pieces of the sword. We're ready to get them shipped down to our next stop, far in the south. And yeah, you just got to make sure that that package arrives.
Do we have a cinematic here? No. Okay.
No, we're just
Oh,
jumping
you're on
right
a boat.
Yeah.
You're on a boat, Richie.
On a boat.
On a boat.
It's going fast.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So
Wow.
Okay. This is dark.
So one of my favorite things I actually heard from some of the streamers last night was a group that was going. They were trying to solve some of the Easter eggs on this boat. Got really far actually. One of the players got seasick. Like the
no.
rocking motion of the boat, the splashing over the edge.
Are you
It's too
serious?
good.
And that is such a win for our environment team and our level team. Like you guys are so damn good. You
actually getting
almost made
seasick.
one of our players hurl. So
my gosh.
Games are getting so good at water. It's incredible.
yeah.
Because we had,
It's sickening.
I believe there was an article that was written when Sea of Thieves first came out that the rockiness was making people physically ill.
Yeah.
Jay needs help. Help him.
Oh boy.
Wave 1.
Wave
He got-
one is
he
not
got- he
fooling
got hit
around
from behind.
already.
It was cheap shot.
Cheap shot.
He
Cheap
got
shot.
shivved.
I'm on the
Sometimes
way.
the zombies will shiv you.
He's okay. He's about halfway dead though.
No.
got him, you
made
got
it.
him, you got him.
You got him.
Phew.
It's all good. He didn't have any upgrades.
The Slayer. Save the day.
That's some pretty cool outfits that somebody's wearing.
Yeah, that's one of our character who had been a secret unlockable character that
Yep.
you had to go through all sorts of bloodbaths to get him unlocked. Now he is a recruit for the bureau, and is going to play a bigger part in our story.
Oh, now there's something that's very interesting about this map. Did the truck slide to one
It
side
did.
and now
It
block the
rolled.
path?
It did. So certain avenues are going to be, and to add painful insult to injury, they can actually smash you against the side if you're not careful.
Look at, now I'm blocked. You're right. Look
Yeah.
at this. Well, you're not looking at my screen, but,
But
we're
I'll-
blocked
I'll
off.
tell you
Oh
one
my
thing: if you time your kiting correctly, you can use that as a way of clearing out some zombies as well.
All right, because they can block zombies.
Yep.
Good technique.
Well, they can block and they can smash.
right. Oh, sweet.
Oh, wow. I'm glad you weren't standing right there. Now, is it just in that particular area, or is there another area?
There's a few
where that
Jeeps
comes into play?
around, but I don't know if they all smash people. Look, there's another one.
That's fascinating. Okay, that's a cool map element.
Being on a
they're
boat
good.
in general is crazy
Yeah.
because it's like you can't escape unless you jump into the freezing cold water like Titanic style.
Yeah.
You're screwed on this boat.
Honestly, I think one of my favorite multiplayer maps was what was it, USS?
Texas?
Yes. Love that map.
It's one way to stay warm in the middle of
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, okay, I see. With the
Flame on,
flamethrower.
huh?
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Is it weird? Like this map looks so cold that I'm slightly comforted by a flamethrower. You know, like
Feels warm. All right, so what were the challenges now in this map versus the last one?
so we knew that we wanted claustrophobic. We knew that we wanted this to
Nailed
feel
it.
tight. We knew we wanted tight corridors.
Yeah.
And but you never want your map to be frustrating in the wrong ways, right? You never want it to be a case where people are feeling trapped or stuck in a corner. And so flow is still, it's vital. You know, you've got to be able to feel like I can get around this corner, I can slip by this zombie without getting snagged or without getting hung up. And so there was a lot of care put into exactly how to make this have the claustrophobic feel.
Right.
But still have you still needed space where you could run, you know? A lot of that comes through, you'll notice we've got kind of some shorter ceilings, like just feeling like that sense of, and I've seen some of the streamers, without even thinking about it as they're playing, will do this kind of ducking down thing, this natural.
I think I've been doing that and I didn't notice.
And that's it, if you're triggering those visceral responses, you know you hit the right target.
Now that was cool too. They had holes in the boat, so you guys
We
had
had
to
to repair
repair
it,
the three
yeah.
holes.
Yep, that's one of the
It's
the
like
randoms.
applicable to the
Yep.
map too.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
You got your. And again, another way that we knew that we'd have tight space here, so it was helped by the fact that we knew we didn't need a million gun boxes. You know, we've got our random gun boxes. These supply drops mean we don't have to have a million blitz machines all over
Right.
the place to charge you up. Like we will deliver those, and then again, relying on the player's ability to do creative problem solving. Say, hey, if I've just got a Kugelblitz and this pistol and an ice pick, how am I going to make my way through, you know, the next pest round? How am I going to get through what's going on? And you've really got to be thinking on your feet in this map specifically. This map will make or break a lot of players, I think.
Yeah. So now, here's a random question. Obviously, you are a master at the language. There's so many
thank you.
interesting words to say here. Did you
There's a lingo.
have to study a lot of German to kind of prepare for writing this?
I had to learn some German. I had to pick up some of the Germans because we wanted to create some new proper nouns.
Yeah.
You know, because the Germans are going to create these new words for the Elektroschnell device you've got inside, the
Yeah.
Überschnell, the bigger kind of battery devices, the Geistkraft, and so I relied on it. We've got a couple folks on our team that are German, and we've got a German-speaking PhD at our.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so that's always the first line of defense. But I always like to. A word can be correct, but not be like usable. Like there's
Right.
got to be a flow to it. There's got to be, you know. And so a lot of it was a case of, okay, team, we're going to call these, you know, Geistkraft. How does that feel? How does that play? And we've got even our the actor who did the voice of Dr. Straub in this, Udo Kier. He is a brilliant German actor. In fact, he plays a Nazi in probably just about every single movie you've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
And we got to a stage where we're kind of buddies. I've got his cell phone, and I can literally call him up and say, Udo, will you say this word for me? We'll use this in a conversation. you know, he's kind of in his very kind of gruff, directly German sort of way, will immediately say, no, I would never say this. I would never say this. So
And you can gauge also yourself now listening and saying, that sounds good.
Yeah.
No, maybe not that one.
Yep, for sure.
Oh
for sure.
man, that's cool to be able to call up, be like,
Well,
hey, can you say this word for us?
Well, another fun thing, I don't know, like, it's funny because our game is called Nazi Zombies, but you'll notice in our dialogue and in our text, we never say the word zombie.
Right.
The term, and researching that, the term zombie really got popularized in the United States in like the late 60s.
Right.
And so while you may have heard it rarely, you know, before then, you would have never heard it in Germany, you know, around this time. And so that was a silly, geeky decision we made in this game. It was like, you know, we're not going to use zombies. We're calling them the undead. We'll call them monsters. We'll call them the enemy. We'll call them, you know, and that was an interesting hurdle. So in our marketing, we'll sometimes use that term. But once you're under the umbrella of our game, you're not going to hear the word zombie.
Right. And I mean, for like branding purposes and whatnot, it's Nazi Zombies has been around for so long.
Yeah,
but that's great
which
for
is why
your
we had to
story.
lean into that for sure. There's the immediate recognition of that, but you know, every group has got their kind of creative hang-ups. I guess mine was, I think the team started to hate me. I'm like, no, you accidentally said zombie. Strike it. Go back.
Stop.
Yeah.
You're like going to like the big guys up top being like, all right, no longer Nazi zombies, okay? It's going to be Nazi undead. And they're we can't rebrand it.
The big guys up top get to make their calls. That's, you know, and that's what we called it, what we did. But once we're in our, you know, kind of our realm, you know, you're in my house now. We're gonna call it this. And you might notice the subtle viewer, the zombie connoisseur, will notice there are some unique zombies in every single one of our little maps here. I don't know if you saw there was a zombie with a life preserver around his waist earlier.
Sailor zombies.
I thought I noticed something.
Yeah. we've got some, and they're, the same sort of thing exists in the maps as well. And that's just because why not, right?
Well,
you know?
zombies can drown too. Oh wait, I just used the wrong word though.
No.
The
Well, you
undead
can.
can drown.
You're not. Yeah. You're not in the game dial. You're safe. You're good.
You guys are killing it already.
Oh, we got
here we
more than
go.
one. Something. The response has been, oh, awesome, we got the moisthlers, and then this is where I've heard more of the
my God,
swear
Richie.
words. Watching the stream than any other part of the game, especially
Richie, run.
especially in these tight quarters. Like these guys, when their arms and claws are fully extended, can fill up the entire hallway.
Run, Richie.
We got
you guys can't see his
We got a
screen.
Jack
This
in the
is-
box.
Okay. Thank you, Jay.
Oh.
I tried to chuck one, but I'm all out.
That's what we call a pity Jack in the box, right there.
Oh,
Save my
Jay
ass.
though.
Get away!
Are there only two? Because these
there's
two,
three.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
Because they're raising hell.
Jay! Oh boy, I just chucked a grenade in the wrong direction.
You just bounce it into your mouth.
Just like on the floor in front of me.
I'd love
Nice.
that. So now this went live
No.
last night midnight. Yes.
No. We unfortunately we got kind of hit by a little bit of an unexpected thing. Sony did a rolling release, and so folks in the UK got it before the rest of the group. And here's something I've got to say was very impressive. Several of them messaged me privately and said, "Hey man, I've got this. I've got it early. Is it cool if I play it?" Like how amazing is that they asked you to do that? And I let them know, I'm like, hey, listen, everybody out there has it. There's nothing I can say that would be like, you know, that wouldn't be fair for me to say, no, don't play it, because then some other jerk is going to get up and play it. And, but they were like super respectful. They're like, you know, how about this? I'll go in, I won't solve any Easter eggs. I'll kind of do a little bit of a tour around. How cool is that, right? That they were so responsive to the community.
Yeah.
One of the gamers got in. He's like, I'm just gonna play through, and then I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna delete my stream.
Wow.
And then I'll get in when everybody else goes. I thought that was just a class act. And that's
There's
something.
some good people out there.
There
Restores your faith in
There
humanity.
are. You know, it's funny how slaying zombies has brought us all together. But,
Truly.
I was actually very impressed that we were able to get that happen. And so what it meant was, by the time the rest of the community was out, no Easter eggs have been solved. You know, everybody still felt like they got.
Everyone's on like a
fair
clean
start.
slate. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, you guys got this.
Yeah.
How many are left?
We're around 6. You got them all. They cleaned it.
Oh, one more.
Oh,
One more.
This one does not like me.
Now you got to
25
kill him with
seconds.
that time frame, right?
yeah, you got
You got
22 seconds.
22 seconds.
Phew.
Done it. Done it.
Amazing. Simply amazing.
And you unlock the
No,
sniper.
I don't. I don't want to play.
You've seen the
No. Thanks, though.
Oh, we got there's some
What is
big
going
fun
on?
guns right
Ooh.
there.
On my way.
You like the Nambu? It just throws so much hot metal into the air, right?
All right. Now, will those stay? Or do those...
No, you got a certain amount of time to pick them up, or you are hosed.
Kind of like when you get the...
Ooh,
Mr.
almost
Rich
got
Man
squished.
gets you can kind of experiment around and play with what you want to get.
You can get the big one, Richie?
There's
Oh my
there's
God.
just enough time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Fliegerfaust. It is a,
I love it.
It is a.
I'm sorry, what was that? Can you say it one more time?
Das Fliegerfaust. It just and here's the funny thing. Again, we did our research. This was an actual weapon. It was actually something the
This
Germans
thing?
experimented with something that can shoot multiple rockets in a series.
Whoa.
It's a
Bazooka style.
yeah, it's a
Whoa,
Gatling bazooka.
I'm about to test it out.
Okay.
Oh,
Works great.
gosh.
Yeah, you do not
Get
want to. You
smushed.
do not want to shoot that in a small hallway.
Right.
Jay's just having Jack in the Box fun, all right?
And bang.
There we go.
Jeez.
That unlocked it.
whoa.
We have Uberspringen,
So
which
does
is one of
all
the more
players-
romantic lines I've ever used.
All players earn that, or do you have to earn it yourself?
No, once it's unlocked, once
Okay.
you've unlocked the Uberspringen, then anybody can go and power up their weapon. So highly recommend you do that if you.
On my
have the
way. I
means.
just gotta actually find it. I was
It's
so
down
far,
in
so
the
far
bottom
from
of the ship.
Jay. Okay.
It's down the creepiest part of the show.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
where blood is sloshing around your ankles.
And I only have a rocket that can kill us all.
Yeah.
Ah!
Rocket jump.
Ah!
Oh my gosh. So now we're obviously not there yet. I'm sure other players have been there. But can you give us a little tease of chapter 3? What kind of map
Oh, dude,
style?
I'm not even going to talk about the next chapter. This is like
You got
this is the
confidence they're
forefront.
gonna
This
get there?
is so exciting.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is.
Oh my god. The underbelly of this ship is crawling right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, a lot of the community have already discovered this as well. There is a lot more going on to this ship than meets the eye.
Oh boy.
I love that I said eye right as Jay pulled the eyeball
Yeah.
out of a zombie.
Great
That was-
timing.
That was synchronicity, wasn't it? Because you're transporting all of these like insane Geistcraft powered devices,
Right.
they resonate on some really like metaphysical frequencies,
Right.
which completely mess with the human nervous system and can mess with what you see and what you perceive and your sense of time and space and everything else. And so this ship, it's a lot like the what's a good way of putting this? It's you guys watch Doctor Who?
Not quite.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there's some
There
people
are
out there.
plenty of people out in the office that are big
so
fans.
There are some interesting blue boxes in Doctor Who
Okay.
that are a lot bigger on the inside than they are on the outside, and this ship is.
Well,
is probably
here's a
gonna
question
echo
for
that.
you.
Sure.
So, since the beginning, obviously you've been writing since the beginning. What have been your biggest influences? You mentioned Indiana Jones already.
Right. For this project, definitely Indiana Jones. A lot of Mike Mignola's Hellboy stuff is also built around that, and if you've read any of his comics, like he does an incredible amount of research for weapons. He actually does even like grave rubbings and gets a lot of the art of the time and the
Right.
period to make sure that. Because to understand anything going on in Europe, especially the battles of World War II out there, you've got to understand its history. And for this game, this is something that has been going on for millennia. And so we brought in obviously Frederick Barbarossa, who was the Holy Roman Emperor and one-time King of Germany. And if you're going to tell a story about that, well, I have got this massive 400-page novel on on Barbarossa, and I love history already. You know, some of the best stories are the ones that we don't make up. Or the ones that we tell after we've survived them, and so a lot of just the actual history itself. I think the strength of the Indiana Jones stories of Mike Mignola's Hellboy, it comes from the fact of a very legitimate sense of history, because when you tell a story that is largely true historically, when you seg away from that, when you go into the fiction, that fiction is more startling.
Right.
You know, just like this ship is based off of an actual ship, like every single bolt and thing built on the ship is true to what was built. So when you've got that happening, then when you see a crawling corpse, when you see something entirely supernatural, it's more shocking. It's more, I think, on a complete, almost animal nature, we feel those panic chemicals in our body when something is not what it's supposed to be.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So you've got to have that setting of the super realistic if you want the surrealistic to take off.
Whoa, no, I got beamed. Great.
So there's also inspiration. There's also a lot of like the King Arthur story plays into this a little bit. T.H. White's the once and future king. The elements of a lot of people theorize that Frederick Barbarossa, the King Arthur story is based off of his story. You know, a lot of the historians talk about these legends of Barbarossa is sleeping under the mountains, and he will rise again to bring Germany back to its height. And that was something that Adolf Hitler certainly believed. You know, he built his southern home on the hills of the Kyffhauser Mountains, where Barbarossa was said to be waiting and buried. And so we're like, okay, well that's a great bed for the story. There's another great story, built around legend. I mean, then of course he had Excalibur. He had his sword of legend.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Nice job, Jay.
That looked a little stressful. And now I think we have another challenge here. Yeah, another random challenge.
Is it challenge time? It is a challenge time.
Catching on. I'm catching on.
Yep. So this is a good time to get ammoed up and pack-a-punched and it looks like whatever the Geistcraft energies are messing with your perceptions of reality here.
Oh boy.
What?
Oh no.
So now you're high?
Kinda.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
Whoa. Okay, this is trippy.
Oh jeez. I can't even describe like what I'm just like askew. I'm
We
like
had
a
some
little
streamers
off.
last night. They were like, "What were the developers smoking?" When they
Oh my God. Whoa. Now you two also look hyper sped up too, right? You're moving quicker?
I think I am. I am
Or does it just seem
surrounded.
like you're
Or does
moving
it just
quicker?
seem?
Yeah.
Oh no, Richie's down.
Oh no.
Oh God. This is terrifying. Oh, he's got
Jay,
you.
save yourself.
He's got
Jay's
you.
got
Oh
the
my-
double
he's
pistols.
got you.
He's got
He's not worried. He's not stressed.
Oh my gosh. Perhaps I've had
Jay
too
has
much.
played with me enough to know how to rescue people out of constant.
Uh-oh, Jay's
no.
down. Your turn.
Save your boy. Save your boy.
Go. Go.
No, I'm surrounded.
He's got your back. He's got your back.
Oh, okay. Great. Now.
So close.
Jay, I let you down.
Well, I think that's about where we're gonna wrap.
Should we wrap
things up.
that? I think that's a fitting end. We challenge you to do better.
Yeah.
How's
Yeah.
that?
Right, I did
mean,
that on purpose.
There we go.
I said it last time. I'll say it again. So impressed by this guy and our little secret
We'll call
player.
him off camera, Jay.
The ringer.
Our
We call
secret
him the
player
ringer.
over here. Cameron, this has been fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for having us over. This was so much to play through. A lot of fun to play with you guys.
And I gotta say, it's so interesting and also refreshing to hear how much effort you guys put into Nazi zombies in any game. So it's super fascinating to hear like everything you have to say as well.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It's just, we're lucky because it's what we love to do. I mean, this is the sort of thing.
You can tell a lot of love put into this.
It is our passion. It is the sort of thing that a lot of people complain about taking their work home with them, and I love that I go to bed and I'm like, what if we had a zombie that did this, you know? And that's,
You're like going to sleep.
that is a very lucky thing to be able to do in your life, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back
again,
anytime.
Yeah, please,
Thank you.
please come back. Again, thank you, Richie. You're the best. You killed it as usual. I'm so impressed. I'm so glad I didn't have to play today.
Great job hosting.
My thanks. Cameron Dayton, creative director, Nazi Zombies. That's all correct?
Yep.
That's all correct. Richie, I'm Nick. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys next time right here at GameSpot. Goodbye.